She stood frozen near the landing pad as the military ship touched down. Snow fell slowly around her, but her body felt hot, her heart racing. As the ramp opened, soldiers walked out, injured, tired. And then she saw him. The man she buried 60 years ago. The man who died in her arms during the war. His face hadn't changed. Same young eyes. Same soft voice. He looked straight at her and softly spoke her name. She stepped back in shock. He was dead. She buried him with her own hands. So how was he standing there, alive and untouched by time? She followed him through the cold hallway, heart pounding with every step. Guards stood around him, unsure whether to protect or arrest. She looked into his eyes again, those same eyes from 60 years ago. But he didn't remember dying. He didn't remember her tears, his last breath, or the battlefield where he fell. Scientists scanned him. The results were impossible. Same DNA, same memories up to the battle. No clone, no copy. He was real, alive. But he hadn't aged a single day. Her hands shook as she asked, "Where have you been all this time?" He only whispered, "I don't know." The military pulled old records, searching for answers. His name matched a soldier, lost during the war, listed as missing after his shuttle vanished near Dross the 7th. They found something else, a recovery log from 2 years ago. A stasis pod had been drifting near a black hole, its systems still active. Inside was the same man, perfectly preserved. But the pod wasn't human-made. Its design was alien, ancient, and unlike anything the scientists had seen before. She stared at the screen in disbelief. Someone had frozen him, hidden him in time. But why bring him back now? And for what purpose? Scientists dug deeper into the strange pod's secrets. They found it was made by the Xyreth, an alien race thought to be extinct for centuries. The Xyreth were famous for controlling time and space with strange machines. She remembered fighting them in the war and how many lives were lost, including his. Why would they freeze him and send him back now? Was it a trap or a warning? The thought chilled her more than the cold wind outside. Something from the past was stirring, and it was not ready to stay gone. He began to change in small ways. He spoke words she had never taught him and drew strange symbols in his sleep. Scientists said his mind was affected by something inside the pod. She watched him closely, torn between hope and fear. Was he still the man she loved, or something new? Every night, his dreams grew darker, filled with images of the Xyreth and stars burning bright. The warning in his mind was clear. Something terrible was coming. But could she trust him, or was he now a danger to everyone? Using the neural scanner, the scientists found a hidden message deep inside his mind. It wasn't just memories. It was a warning. The Xyreth were coming back, stronger than ever. He had been turned into a messenger, carrying a secret they wanted the galaxy to hear. But he didn't know how or why. The woman who loved him felt both hope and fear. If the warning was true, then the peace they fought for was about to break. The future was uncertain, and the man who died in her arms might be the key to saving them all. Signals from the Xyreth began to pulse through deep space, darkening systems one by one. The galaxy's leaders grew afraid, debating whether the returned man was a threat or a savior. He begged for peace, but even he didn't fully understand the power behind the Xyreth's return. The woman who loved him stood by his side, the only one who truly believed in his warnings. Tension grew, and the calm they once knew was breaking fast. The question hung heavy in the air. Was this the start of a new war, or the chance for a second beginning? The military decided he was too dangerous to trust. They took him away, locking him in a secure facility far from the woman's reach. She fought hard to protect him, but her pleas were ignored. Then, in the dead of night, he vanished without a trace. No alarms sounded, no clues were left behind. Only a single message remained, written in the strange symbols he had drawn in. His dreams. It was a warning, urgent and clear. Someone powerful wanted him gone. But why, and where could he have disappeared to when no one saw him leave? The woman refused to give up. She followed every clue, tracing the strange symbols to an abandoned research station on a distant moon. There, she found signs of a hidden Xyrath base, and evidence that they were planning something terrible. She felt the weight of years pressing down on her, but her resolve grew stronger. The man she loved might be missing, but his message was alive. She knew she had to stop the coming darkness, no matter the cost. Time was running out, and the fate of the galaxy hung on her next move. In the final moments, she uncovered a secret. He hadn't vanished by chance. The Xyrath had taken him to protect their plan, but also to use him as a key. With his return, a choice lay before her: stop the war and save the future, or let the past repeat itself in endless pain. Holding his hand, she made a silent promise. Together, they would fight. Time had given them a second chance, and she would not let it slip away. The stars watched silently as a new battle began, one not just for survival, but for hope itself.